Hey, what's up? How you doing? Good day. Voiceover. I was trying to talk over this video, but the audio got fucked up for some reason, and now I zoomed in because I had a talking face in there, and it is of no use now, and will just confuse people. So it's out. I was singing some Frank Sinatra while stretching, and now I'm upset because it was really good and obviously beautiful, and now you don't get to hear that. So see this as a missed opportunity for you, just to see just how amazing I am at singing. Either way, stretching. Both your fingers, just hands in general, and wrists, super important, especially if you're practicing guitar consistently. I've seen, obviously, there's a lot of videos online of people showing what they do to stretch for guitar, why you should stretch your hands out before you practice. But I don't really see an emphasis as much on what it actually does for you. When I don't stretch before I practice, I can only practice for about an hour before my fingers start to give out. If I stretch, which it never takes me more than 5 minutes to stretch, I can go on for 3 or 4 hours, no problem. Not only that, but when I do stretch, my fingers slowly over time as I stretch every single day, I can play faster. It helps with the playing super fast solo stuff. I can chug faster, down pick a lot faster. You can stretch your fingers out more. You can go in more what would be cramped positions and for chords, and you can play them a lot easier. Obviously, the first time you start stretching before you practice, you're not gonna fucking, immediately be able to do all this crazy shit, and it's not gonna hurt. But and that will be a thing. You're gonna stretch for probably the first week and be like, this isn't really doing much. But once you get past that probably a week threshold of stretching every day and you go into it, it'll really start to make sense. And then even if you don't in the moment feel that's like it's really doing anything, after stretching for a week consistently before you practice, try and go back to practicing without stretching beforehand. It's going to feel like going to bed without brushing your teeth. It's just going to be like just going to feel gross. It's not going to feel right. And I promise it's helping for longevity. You're going to be able to practice forever because you have to think too. You're doing this for the long run. If you're a guitar player, you love playing guitar, you got to treat this like you're going to be playing until you're 90. And if you do that, you need to stretch. You need to be nice to your 90-year-old self. That guy's got worse wrists than you do. You need to make sure he's up and ready to go. And he's going to fucking thank you, or she, sorry. I'd always just assume it's the boys watching these videos. You're going to want that person. They're going to fucking thank you for doing that. Trust me. Well, you don't have to trust me. You probably trust old people. I'm not old yet. Not that old. But not only is it going to massively help you now with everything that you're doing on guitar, but it'll also help you farther down the line, and you're going to be so glad that you've done it for yourself all the way back then. Even if it's just a year down the line, 2 years, 10 years, doesn't matter. All right, so this is the last thing I do. I obviously do the stretches that I'm sure you've seen everywhere on YouTube. And then I also, at the end of that, get on the floor and do what I actually do for my calisthenics warm-up routine for my wrists. Do some good wrist warm-ups. Mainly because my wrists, that's usually my weak point when it comes to my hands and fingers and stuff. They pop a lot, very stiff, and I definitely need more work on them than I'm sure most people need. But I totally recommend it for anybody. Just extra stretching is never going to hurt. One thing I will say is obviously not to overdo it and push yourself. Make sure it doesn't hurt, just enough that you can feel a good stretch, but just make sure it's not painful. Because you can just try and crank it, and that's going to make it worse. It has to, even if it feels like you could stretch a little bit more, I'd say keep it on the lighter end, keep it so you feel a little bit of that stretch, but it's not painful at all. And just do that consistently, and then you'll slowly be able to go farther and farther without it feeling painful. That's about it for this. Pretty simple. Hope that helps. If you're not stretching, usually before your practice, I totally recommend doing it. It'll help out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.